Welcome to Road America. As today, we're in central Wisconsin at one of the coolest road tracks in the US. This 4-mile track twists and turns throughout the northern forest, and it is absolutely wicked as we're here today for an IndyCar race. Let's get it. And of course, this video is brought to you in partnership with Pull Tab Sports. Check them out at pulltabsports.com for all your content on Midwest sports and culture. And while you're at it, throw them a follow on their social media to show them some love for making all these videos possible. Running on about 2.5 hours of sleep, but it's race day, so we're buzzing, we're ready. And I think I have the most appropriate thing on for a race, wearing jorts. I think I'm gonna fit it okay. Stop 1, let's provision. Stop 2, cargo, wake up. Alright, stop 3, safety first. Always use protection. And we're headed north for the day through the beautiful Wisconsin countryside to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Nice barn ride. Yeah, that's very good. And upon making it there, we realized it's kind of interesting because all you do is you sit in your car and you show them your ticket and then you're good to go. So if you wanted to, you could probably hide someone in the back of your car and no one would ever know, but shh, I didn't tell you that. And once we got parked, we realized that we are right next to the racetrack. So how did this awesome place come to be? In the late 1940s, after World War II, road racing became very common in the US. And in 1950, the first organized race at Elkhart Lake was held. But people realized that racing on actual roads could be a little bit dangerous, so they moved to a private course in 1955. And thus, Road America was born. As today, it covers 640 acres and has hosted both NASCAR races and IndyCar races, as well as a slew of other events throughout the year. As someone that loves to roam freely throughout sports venues, this was an absolute dream for me, as we could basically go wherever we wanted. Follow along here in the bottom corner to see where we are in relation to the track. There are events stacked up throughout the whole day, starting at the 8 a.m. USF Pro 2000 race, as we caught the very end of that one and got to see the winners handed their rewards, which put us right by the starting line and the paddock. And once again, accessibility is the main thing that was absolutely awesome here, as you could really get up close and personal with the race teams and all their equipment and race cars. Now obviously you can't go touching them, but you get these really close views that you really don't get in a lot of other sports, because there's normally a lot of separation between the athletes and crews and the fans. And we had to make our way over to the Chip Ganassi racing team because my brother-in-law actually helps work with them sometimes. So that is of course who I'm repping today and hope they can make it to the podium. Now to be honest, going to a race in central Wisconsin, I expected to be a lot more of your kind of, shall I say, redneck crowd. Kind of what you'd expect to see at a NASCAR event. It was a lot more of your European F1 fans for the IndyCar event. As the stereotypical NASCAR fans were kind of out more by the camping areas, meanwhile your Euro fans were kind of more in the paddock and close to the race. I actually met a guy there from the Netherlands. He was the easiest spot in all orange obviously, but since my mom's Dutch, I had a good chat with him. And when we were over there, we got to see the start of the warm-up laps for the IndyCar series. And during this is when we did our most exploring around the entire track. Cheesy. We got to see a lot of the different campgrounds towards the middle of the track, and they have a disc golf course going throughout the whole complex. And have a look at the baskets with the tires on top. Fantastic. So many cool bridges with themes give you awesome perspectives down at the track. And this is the type of the vibes we expected. That's a pretty drunk sloth, and no half cents, only full cents, let's go. There's another good grandstand here at turn 8, and also a go-kart track side by side with the actual race. Who do you think's going faster here? I think the go-kart guys can give them a run for their money. But this was a ton of walking as it's super hilly out here, so make sure you stay hydrated throughout the day and wear some good walking shoes. The culture of the event was absolutely fantastic as there's a lot of diversity. Look at all these flags here. And I also heard a lot of different languages throughout the day. But where are the Dutch flags? As this stretch also had some pretty cool seating on both sides of the track. Both sides have some cool stands. Yeah. And then we made it up the hill to my favorite part of the track, right around turn 6 in the Corvette Bridge. This area was super cool and shady as you kind of feel like you're in the woods while watching the race as the cars turn right by you. There were tons of people camped down on this hill with all their chairs where you had a great look down at turn 5 and also a ton of shade. This area has a ton of TVs so you can watch the action for what's going all around the track and plenty of loudspeakers with the radio feed going on. And this is when the Indy Next race started. And for those not too familiar with racing, the Indy Next is kind of the B League to the IndyCar series. And we grabbed an awesome spot down at turn 5 to watch the cars coming towards us, then turn around the corner and head up the hill. It was a fantastic view.
he races his way toward the bottom of the hill.
Fans greet this field of 19, and the leader as he makes his way through turn number 5 is Prix to make his way up the hill.
Near the end of the race, we started making our way back toward the finish line so we could catch the end and see that checker flag. But first we found this awesome little nook on our way back that was completely shaded and surrounded by trees, and gave you a great up-close look at the cars through the fence.
I'm not supervised. Send help.
Just remember to stay safe out there, kids, and keep a good distance. We made it to the start and finish line where they have this awesome private building. I'm sure it's nice and air conditioning and full of plenty of free drinks. But you really get a good perception of the cars passing by through here. And we took this chance to check out the main large grandstand by that start and finish line. You can also see they have some really nice cabins here that you can rent out for the weekend. We took this little tunnel under the track and got to see the driver come in the presentation of the trophy.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's welcome our Indy Next by Firestone Grand Prix at Road America winner. Congratulations, Nolan Siegel. Cheers to today's Indy Next by Firestone Grand Prix at Road America. Ready for the spray, guys? You've earned it. Congratulations, Nolan Siegel, Jacob Abel, and Hunter McElroy.
We grabbed some sweet souvenirs from the Road America shop and the IndyCar shop. And of course, I could not pass up an opportunity to get my hands on a new jersey. Had to go with the Chip Ganassi racer, so I went for the Marcus Ericsson one, because I think he's probably my favorite racer. We grabbed a quick bite to eat, which was pretty good. Sean got a pulled pork sandwich and a corn dog, and I went with the brisket sandwich and some cheese curds. And we got some extra food from the Sargento cheese mascot coming around passing out string cheese. And it's time for the main event. Now this is kind of a bad design because it's super hard to follow the actual race from this finish line, as there's no TV screens here, but there are some radio speakers, but they're kind of hard to hear from here. So we're on the move to relocate. And I don't know if it's just mental, but I feel like these cars are going much faster than the Indy Next cars. You can just feel the power of them, especially when we went over one of the bridges that goes right over the track. Now remember that you can bring in basically whatever you want, so I was pretty glad I didn't have to spend every cent I've ever made on YouTube for food and beverages, but they actually were pretty reasonable prices. We headed down to that spot that we really liked by turn 5 to catch the race, and you could tell there were a lot of diehard racing fans there. We had a great view of the TV, good sound for the speakers in front of us, and it was just an awesome time catching the race. There was a great crowd on hand, and it was Father's Day. Something really interesting, since they have 640 acres of land, is that there's no real set capacity, and they never really sell out of events. They just sell as many tickets as people want, and people find places to watch the race from. I really just love this openness, and the fact that you can watch from wherever you want, and you're not designated to one specific location. Personally, I've never been a huge race fan, but like I said earlier, my family kind of is into racing some, but I really enjoyed this more than I thought that I would. I had the program with me, so I was checking out who was who on the track, and we kind of had the ones that were our favorites and the ones that kind of turned into villains for us during the course of the race. There were quite a few yellow flags to slow down the race some, but it was still a really energetic race, as the commentators even stated that the drivers weren't playing nicely with each other today.
Alex Palou has taken the lead in turn number 1. A Ford car with the advantage now. Colton Alex Palou is on the roll. He is about 5 seconds.
He has a customary victory dinner. One of the campers better prepare some fried chicken. As as he will crest the hill and see the advanced auto park checkered flag as Alex Palou dominates late and wins the Sonsio Grand Prix at Road America, presented by IndyCar. His teammates loading him up on the pit wall.
We were absolutely buzzing that a Chip Ganassi racer won the race. But my favorite part of this had to have been the tradition when you wave your hat at the drivers as they all come by. I love this. And we made it up the hill to see the trophy presentation.
Yay! That all went on you. None of it went on me.
Let's welcome our Sonsio Grand Prix Road America presented by AMR race winner. Congratulations to X Palou!
It's snowing.
Trophies up.
How much did they spend in confetti?
Your Road America track hats. How about a nice round of applause for Road America's staff? What a great weekend we had!
Any other corporate
And now
hats?
the team optional hats.
Yep.
The Chip Ganassi hat for Alex Palou.
The Chipper!
Celebrate! Now a nice round of applause again for your podium finishers, Pedal Lord, Joseph Nigger, Alex Palou!
Sean, you did it! Number one.
It was really cool after this because all the cars were still out and you could see them and the damage that was done during the race, especially on the tires. It was also pretty fun to watch the teardown because it's such a huge operation with so many moving parts.
Let's see who's gonna be faster. See how much room they have. Look at them bended.
The Firestone crew had a really interesting job as all the race used tires were there and they had a crew of people disassembling the wheel from the tire itself. As I got up close and personal with all the tires that just came off the track. And though the main event's done, the racing for the day still wasn't, as the Radical Cup started a little bit after, and it was pretty hot, so we needed us some ice cream to take it in. Most of the crowd had really cleared out by then, which made me happy that we took the time to explore before the main races started and the crowds were there. To cap off the day, they had the Vintage Indy Registry, which was absolutely awesome to see all these old cars racing. And some of them even had 2 people in them. You could tell that the drivers just absolutely loved driving and showing off these cars, as they were waving to us in the crowd as they went around. And that's gonna do it for our day at Road America. Fantastic time. I highly recommend checking it out if you've never been. Even if you aren't a race fan, still a great time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you very soon in another new video. Thanks. Bye.